Good morning, students. Today we are there with part 3, chapter 3, part B, that is changing role of public sector. I had intentionally taken up first different types of public enterprises, and then on a cumulative basis, we will be seeing what is the changing role of public sector in our Indian economy especially. The first thing is development of infrastructure, as you could see on the top with the images of telecommunication and transportation. Apart from that, energy, basic and heavy industries, etc., are essential for economic development, and government has set up various PSUs in these areas with one single approach that private enterprises are not willing to invest where the gestation period is very long. And in these areas, gestation period is long. Then is regional balance. As you could see, at one side, with so many blocks and other side single, we are balancing. That is, you find rural and urban with the area, with the infrastructure and the other facilities. We need to balance both of them. That is, the rural areas, they need more effort on the part of government for upliftment. Then economies of scale. Now here when we talk of economies of scale, we refer to both economies of large scale production as well as economies of large scale operation, both. And the government comes here by setting up large scale industries in the public sector to take advantages of these economies of scale, whether it is electricity power plant, petroleum refinery, or telephone industries. Fourth one we find checking over the concentration of economic power. That is, the flow of economic resources to the private sector entrepreneurs can't be controlled up to a certain extent. So there, how the government is coming and checking on it. Then import substitution. When we talk of import substitution, the government has set up public sector units for production of capital goods which were imported earlier. Several public sector companies are producing goods on a large scale, thus playing an important role in expanding export of the country also. Now, we'll see what are the measures taken by the government to reform the public sector. Focus part we had taken, importance in the previous part we had taken. Now we'll see what are the measures taken up by the government sector. The first four-pronged effort were as follows in the new economic policies, and accordingly we'll say and see the steps taken up. First, to restructure and revive the potentially viable public sector undertakings. Then closing down the PSUs which cannot be revived, and then bring down government equity in all the non-strategic PSUs to 26% or even lower if necessary, and protect the interest of the worker. These were the four major areas where government wanted to work, and we'll next see how these four areas were taken care by the four. Now, first step was reduction in the number of the reserved industries. Earlier, we had 17 industries reserved for public sector as per Industrial Policy 1956. Then, it had been reduced to 8 industries in 1991 and again to 3 industries in 2001. And these 3 industries, as you could see at the top also and at the bottom also, atomic energy, arms, and railways. Then was disinvestment. What do you mean by disinvestment? Break the word disinvest. Taking out your money. Sale of equity shares of public sector undertaking to private sector and to the public government holding in such unit is thereby reduced and the private participation is enhanced. The private participation is enhanced. For example, sale of the shares of Indian Petrochemical Limited and Maruti Udyog Limited. There are many more examples of disinvestment. Next, what you could see, the logo of BIFR. To protect sick units, highly sick public enterprises which are unlikely to be revived will be referred to Board of Industrial and Financial Reconstruction, that is BIFR, for rehabilitation. I'm using the word here, rehabilitation. Next is signing of MOUs. MOU means what? Memorandum of Understanding. It is to improve the performance of public sector undertaking. Government introduced MOU system by giving clear target and operational autonomy. Autonomy is freedom here to achieve these targets. Here, PSUs are accountable for specified results. Now, what we had done in our part A was departmental statutory government, as you could see, in a crystal clear format under 3 different classifications. When we had talked about a cumulative effect for review, once we are talking about changing role of the public sector, we have a look at all of them together. The glance overall, whether it is departmental undertaking, statutory corporation, government company. Everywhere the government has taken up step to revive and reform these sectors. With this, for 2020, this chapter is over here, but for next 2021, I would be putting up other slides also later on, which would include your joint venture, public-private participation, then multinational companies. These topics have been deleted for this year, seeing COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you very much. This is Jyoti Shrivastava. Please do like, share, and comment. Your queries are most welcome.